What's good, everybody? This is Anthony Blake Jr. back with another episode, Flawless Fantasy Football, Week 15 Waiver Wire Show. That's right, Week 15. It is playoff time. We're already here. Man, that was fast. That was fast. Very eventful, too. Because of COVID, because of all the nonsense, because of all the hella injuries and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we got to make things pop. And we got to make it happen. Week 15. Waivers. All right, look, man. This your boy A. Beezy back in the house. Look, who got us here? Our quarterback, our stud quarterback, our running backs, our wide receivers, our complete team. No one person got us here. Plenty of people have Jonathan Taylor and are not in the playoffs. Plenty of people have Cooper Kupp and are not in the playoffs. Unless you have a sound team, you are not in the playoffs. You're on the outside looking in. Unfortunately, a lot of people, some people that may be watching this video new, or some, because guess what? If you got a whole bunch of teams, probably not all of them are going to make the playoffs. Nevertheless, we're here. We got to make the best of it. I'm the type of person where you want to have depth, especially since week 14 when all this stuff happened and all these last minute COVIDs and this and that, whole team shutting down and everything. Just here recently, you need to have backups, okay? We need to have depth at our positions. But to me, I'm the type of person where if I got here with a person, I don't care if they got a tough matchup. I'd rather fall on my sword and go out with this player than pick some random Joe Schmo that pick up off the waivers that have been dropped and picked up, dropped, and picked up and dropped, rather than play my stable guy that I've had in my lineup that helped me get there. But that's just me, okay? Because I'd rather live with knowing I played my guy and I lost in the playoffs, vice me trying to get cute, and that cost me a victory. Hope that makes sense. All depends what you want to live with. But enough of that type of house cleaning BS. Let's get ready and go straight to the QBs. Hey, first off, everybody hit the comments and say hello. We got maybe about 4 or 5 more subscribers. That last YouTube short that I dropped the other day about CMC and them more overall. So we got some new people to the family. So drop a what's up and welcome to the family them in the comments so they can feel welcome, because we're going to do this thing hard from this point on going into the next season. All right? You're going to get that. You're going to get that raw and rugged for me. I'm not commercial. I'm not going to be like, oh well, this platform saying it and that platform saying that. I guess I better say it too. I better say it too. No, I'm not going to freaking say it if I don't believe it. I'm not, you need somebody that's going to go against the grain. If you follow like a bunch of sheep when when a herd of sheep, what happens when a herd of sheep? Only a few sheep really see what's going on. The rest of the sheep got their head right in the sheep's ass right there, just following it. Sniffing shit and just following it. Don't follow. I'm not going to follow the other guys. I'm Anthony Blake Jr. I'm cut differently. Nobody's perfect. I don't give a crap who you are. Nobody's going to make all the correct calls. But who's going to make more of the correct calls and avoid more actual, landmines? I don't want y'all stepping on landmines. I'd rather you be walking and be like, that player might be trouble. And I'm going to skip over it. I'm not going to draft him. That person might be a good player, but the risk is too much to draft him. Okay? We'll talk about that. Come actually make a video about some of the people that I'm actually wrong about this year. Because everybody's wrong about plenty of people. But I was only wrong about maybe 3 or 4 or 5 people. But nevertheless, I've seen people say, I wish I had drafted this guy. Oh, that's costing me the playoffs. No, how about you drafted a sorry-ass team that's what cost you the playoffs? Just because you didn't draft Joe Mixon isn't the reason you're not in the playoffs. People always making excuses. People full of excuses. Okay, enough of my rants. Because y'all don't know I could go on and on and on. Week 15, damn it. Let's get it. Again, if you got your stud already, play your stud. But here are some viable options if you feel frisky. If you could get this guy, put him on your team in case something pop off at the last minute so you don't have to play some Joe Schmuck like Huntley if he ends up playing for Baltimore or something. You don't want to go out like that. Number one, streaming quarterback is Tua. Tua's made the list a couple times this week. This year. But this week's is special because he's playing at home versus the Jets. And let me tell you something, the way he's been operating hella efficient, percentages up, he's playing real good. I'm going to be honest with you. Personally, I'm happy for Tua because he had a lot of flack, and I did like how old boy was there last year, and they kept pulling him out of the game and then bringing him back in. That shot his confidence. But he does need that defense to play well for he can play at his maximum potential. But nevertheless, he's a hell of a strong start at home against the Jets. I'm sure he'll get you 20-something points. At least 22 or more. Because he don't make many mistakes. And plus, the Jets are the freaking Jets. Number two is Justin Fields. Now, we saw him make some mistakes. Yes, we did. But what you can't say is he got some receivers over there. He got Moody, he got dude Grant. He's fast. I said, y'all saw Grant. That dude, nobody can catch that dude. I'm like, damn, I got Moody in the league. I'm like, damn, man. He started getting all the targets, but guess what? Fields, he got the tight ends. He got Commit. He got old boy Jimmy Graham over there. Got Montgomery. He can dunk the ball down too. They played Monday night at home against Minnesota. And against Minnesota, every quarterback eats, especially as of late. You had Goff eat against them. Who else ate against them? You had Big Ben. Big Ben ate against them. Come on, man. So, when I say ate against them, I mean he had real good games against them. 25 points or more, probably. So, Justin Fields is a good... Plus, he run. He got that leg juice. My homeboy Leroy called it that leg juice. You get the juice from the legs. So Justin Fields, he may be out there. Tua Justin Fields. Now, and I'm going to put him up here. Jimmy Goo up. Let me tell you something. He's playing pretty good because he understands, as I'm a Niner fan, he understands he's not the future. So he's playing for another team, for another contract. So I respect that. Let me tell you something. The way he played last game against Cincinnati, and we got, they caught that long touchdown, and then we came back and drove the length of the field, and we scored with IU. Let me tell you something. He's going to put up a solid game. The way Kittle's playing, he's not making that many turnovers. If he does throw a pick, he's not fumbling. So he's limiting the turnovers. And then they play Atlanta this week. Who the hell is Atlanta scaring? Miami's going to beat the brakes off them. Probably not beat the brakes off them, but we beat them soundly by about 5 points or something. But he's a very good player. Now, also you have honorable mentions. I'm going to say honorable mentions, not because, he should be taking, you should have Taysom Hill already on other lineups. But I just got to mention him anyway. So, just got to put him here. He has a tough matchup, though, against Buccaneers. Now, he's not going to be, just like Kamara. Somebody, people going to score, but he's not going to have that much success. Yes, Tampa Bay has a sorry defense, but, Sherman's back. I don't know how much that's in, but I'm just telling you. Sherman's back. Sherman's back. Take it for what it's worth. And they had a hell of a pass rush and a solid run D. So Kamara going to get tapped up nicely. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So, anybody that's needing Kamara this week, you're not going to really be seeing a ceiling. I don't believe. But nevertheless, Taysom Hill, I want to say an honorable mention, but I got to mention him, but he probably already rostered. Let's get to the RB. It's running back time. All right, now here we go. Look, I already put him up here, okay? But let me explain something to you again. This is just not about this week. If you're in the playoffs, not only we have to think about this week, we have to think about next week too, all right? So I got a couple people up here that's not necessarily about this week, but could be about this week, but it's also about next week too. But everybody knows the number one. It's Rashad Penny, right? Okay, let me explain something to you. I really like Penny. Really like Penny. I was always picking Penny late. Not always. The dude was explosive. He was almost like Christine Michael. You know, I had a hard on for Christine Michael. Pause, no homo. But I used to like those two dudes, Christine Michael and Rashad Penny. The thing is about them, like they're a hell of a, they're like, they run with the football real good. And when I say that, they're great runners, but they're not great rushers, if that make any sense. To me, like they run with reckless abandon, and when you do that, you glass out very easily, okay? Glass out. But hopefully that doesn't happen to Rashad Penny. Mind you, he had his little nice game. He had 16 totes for $137 and 2, okay? And 2 tags. But he played against Houston. And that didn't knock anybody because guess what? Everybody that suited up and put his chin strap on, they're professional players. But Houston got a reputation for letting people get off. So, but here's the caveat with Rashad Penny. Let's say if you have a bye this week, pick Penny. Pick him. Because if you can get by this week, because if you're going to be putting Penny in your lineup this week, it might be a bad thing. Might. I hopefully don't. I would love for him to rip through the Rams. But unfortunately, he's playing the Rams. Okay? And I just don't see him popping off like that. He played the Rams, then he played the Bears, then he played the Lions. So essentially in championship week, if you have him, he'll be playing the Lions. Hella strong. Okay? I don't have any shares of him, but guess what? I'm a player. I'm a person where I only have 3 fantasy teams. I can't stand when these content creators have like, oh, I got so many shares of him. Like, what do you have all these teams for? Maybe it's because I've been playing fantasy football since 1995 and 96, so I don't give a damn about having all those teams. It's just damn ridiculous to me. But never, and plus, why would I have all those teams and I'm trying to show you my team, and just think if I had to go through 17 different teams to show you, you guys would be like, okay, I'm tired of this shit, Blake. All right, nevertheless, Rashad Penny, hell of a pickup. He will be starting this week against the Rams, but again, that's the Rams. And Russell Wilson's probably going to be kind of jittery. I don't know. We'll see what happens with him because he had his hand hit the last time. I'll be honest with you. If I was to prophesize, I would just say Rashad Penny get hurt in this game. Every time he give us something good, every time he make us smile, he make us cry. Every time. So get your little napkins ready. All right. So Rashad Penny, he can make it past this week. You get him, he gonna be gold, especially somebody that you can put in your flex. So Rashad Penny, number 1. Then you got Dearness Johnson. Okay, they be like Dearness Johnson. Yeah, well, Kareem Hunt's all messed up, and it don't look like he's gonna go. And for anybody that know, Chubb likes to glass out. I got Chubb in my second league. And if Hunt don't play, and let's say he go to IR, because they throwing everybody on damn IR nowadays, that means he gonna back up Chubb, and Chubb gonna get all his work. And if Chubb glass out, we already seen what Dearness do whenever he got the rock to himself. That dude do like 23 totes for $140 something and a touch or 2. Okay? So it's imperative that people that have Chubb get him. And if you have space and you don't get him, possibly him or any of these guys, then try to get the Dearness. But for the Chubb owners, they need to prioritize him higher. Craig Williams, this is a guy from Detroit, came out of nowhere. He actually just came off the practice squad like a day or 2 before the weekend. But nevertheless, Swift was out, Williams was out. They glass as hell. And that was one of the things I said about Swift. Swift's going to be dynamic, but Swift gas. When they leave the game early, when they can't show up, leave you to put a freaking sorry wide receiver at flex, they're not freaking reliable. Now guess what? He's not even there. If he helps somebody get into, if he happened to make somebody help them get into the playoffs, He's not even there to contribute. That's why I didn't endorse picking him. Unreliable. When you want somebody in your circle if they're unreliable, then don't put them in your fantasy circles. Now, Craig Williams, he went 11 for 83, didn't have a touch, but he ran well. 11 for 83, that tells me that you're explosive. You're at 7.5 yards a carry. I like that. Plus, you're hungry as hell. Obviously, you're hungry. You're like, shit, I'm in hell for the fucking run this damn rock, you know? But Detroit plays against Arizona this week. Yes, the same Arizona that held Sony Michel to less than 100 yards. Yes, Sony Michel ran well, but he didn't even have freaking 90 yards, I don't think. No, he didn't. And didn't have a touchdown. So, but he probably could have had one if they enforced cup and stuff like that. But, you know, that's the Rams for you. But Craig Williams, he's have to get involved in a receiving game, and we don't know if that's going to happen. But chances are they're going to be getting boat raced by Arizona. So do you want to chance that? If you're feeling frisky, if you're lucky, if your favorite number 7, go on for it. Wouldn't advise it though, unless you had to. Number 4, Kenneth Gainwell and Jordan Howard. I have both of these guys in my league of record. Okay, let me tell you something. I always teach and preach ascension. Pick players that are ascending. I'm going to have another video coming out about that, ascending players. Players that you need to look out for 2022 that you can get for the cheap. Okay? You're going to get for the cheap, they're going to skyrocket. Guarantee you the vast majority of them are going to skyrocket. Because people need to stop worrying about these incumbent-ass freaking players that we've seen the best of them. Now, because we know what Jordan Howard is. But the coach liked Jordan Howard. But he got hurt a little while ago, missed the last game that they played before the bye. But you always see sneaky little Kenny Gainwell coming in there getting totes. So, the last game when they played before their week 14 bye, Miles Sanders had a hell of a game. 24 totes for a buck 20. But of course, Miles Sanders is glass. We know that, right? He's like fine china, the porcelain type, okay? He got us out. So people thought we would see a healthy Boston Scott. But did we? No, we saw Kenneth Gainwell. So what does that tell you? Kenneth Gainwell is next up. So Miles ain't playing. Screw Boston Scott. Even if he played, he'll get the just get the start just because. But Kenneth Gainwell is the future of that team. We know that, right? He's the running back future. Shake your head like that. Yeah, shake. Yeah, like that. He is. He really is. And we already know what Jordan Howard is. He won't be there next year. It's all about Kenneth Gainwell. Always towards the end of the season, they start seeing what these guys got so they can go into the next year and plan accordingly. Kenneth Gainwell is somebody that I can see being a strong flex for people and being a league winner. Yeah, it's going to look a little scary because you have to deal with Jordan Howard around the goal line and whatnot, but Jordan Howard can catch a cold. Okay? Kenneth Gainwell. Let's get to wideouts. Wide receiver time. Look, real quick, guys. Listen, let's not play no games with wide receivers. I mentioned KJ Osborne last week. Okay? Adam Thielen was out. You think freaking skinny boy Jefferson's going to get all the juice? No. Could he have scored 3 touchdowns? Scored 3 touchdowns? I said scoring. Scored 3 touchdowns last week? Sure. But he ain't going to get all the juice. He's going to get a lot of that Adam Thielen juice. He's going to miss one more week for sure. But I think you're going to shelf him because he's already been showing, he's already been getting slow. That's another, I can't wait to wait in these episodes about these declining players. So, but KJ Osborne should be the play. He keeps scoring. He's scoring damn near every week. He scored, I believe, the last 2 weeks. And even though he only had 3 catches last week, he had 9 targets, I believe. 9 targets. So you just got to think, if he'll bump that catch rate up a little bit more from Thursday night. I played him in the league. I picked him up in 2 leagues. And I only have 2 active leagues now. I picked him up in 2 leagues. I picked him up in 2 leagues, played him in 1. And should have played him in both, but I was waiting. I made a mistake in something, but it really didn't cost me because I won anyway. But nevertheless, it cost me points though. But it's not about me. It's not about my stuff right now. KJ Osborne, solid play. He should be in lineups every single week if you got wide receiver issues. Mind you, most teams only got to play 2 wide receivers. You got to play flex, 2 running backs, a flex, and 2 wide receivers. Me, I prefer, unless you got some stud-ass wide receivers, I like playing 3 running backs. 2 running backs and putting that other running back in flex. To me, that makes your team stronger. To me. So, KJ Osborne, legit. Play against Chicago Monday night. He'll be at Chicago, but guess what? He gets plenty of targets, so he should be fine. Gabriel Davis. Gabriel Davis is somebody I mentioned in the YouTube short before the preseason. Before the season started. Somebody I felt that could be ascending, that can be a candidate for this year's type of Jefferson type guy. But the only thing was standing in his way was old man Emmanuel Sanders. But he finally laid it down, and that's it for him. So he's done. Sure, it ain't safe, but even if he does get back on the field, he won't be getting much clock. Gabriel Davis, he scored the last 2 weeks. He played. Listen, I'm telling you how much faith they got in him. This dude scored. Gabriel Davis scored. They put him out. They put him out to the left or right. Either way, in that real bad snow game, in Buffalo, when they play, who they played? New England? Yeah, Buffalo, when they ran the ball all crazy like that. He scored in that game. So he's the touchdown maker over there. Because everybody going to be looking at old boy Diggs. But guess what? Him and the tight ends right behind him. So Gabriel Davis. Of course, I got Josh Palmer and guidance. They were most picked up last weekend because Keenan Allen was out. So one or both of these guys are probably picked up. There's no guarantee that Keenan Allen will be back. They play on Thursday, so he might not be back in time. So we'll see. But nevertheless, Josh Palmer is the Keenan Allen replacement. Guyton, the field stretcher, is the Mike Williams replacement, which Mike Williams is not, he's not playing like he did early on in the season. These 2 guys are the future for Justin Herbert. Let me say it again. These 2 guys are the future for Justin Herbert. Keenan Allen is freaking coughing up ashes, and freaking homeboy Williams over there, he's showing who he really is. But he's healthy, good, he's standing on the field. But these 2 guys are the future of that team, okay? Josh Palmer and Jalen Guyton. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Again, we're talking about ascending players, ascending youth. That's why he's had 12 targets in the past 2 games, 12 and 12, because they want to see what they have in him. They know what they have in the other guys. Granted, the tight end didn't play, but 12 targets, 24 targets in 2 straight games, that's saying something. So, but, at the end of the day, they play against Arizona, but if they're getting boat raced, that should help him. So he should be a solid wide receiver too this week, if you need him. Devonte Parker's coming back. The only thing I don't like about Devonte Parker, I don't feel he'll score. But even if he does score, great. But he's not the number 1 option on the team that controls the ball and plays defense a lot. But if you like him, you can pick him up this week. Robbie Anderson, he's a decent option. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. But at the end of the day, old boy over there hurt. The other wide receiver over there hurt. So he may have a lot of opportunity this week for Carolina. This is deep, though. See, I wouldn't really bother with nobody down here below, but I'm just giving you options, okay? And you got Rashad Bateman. People were just throwing him over the ship. Just throwing him over the ship the other week. But now, then when old boy get hurt with his leg or ankle injury, then the second string quarterback come in and start talking to him like crazy, everybody loves Bateman again, okay? But guess what? If old boy come back and get to running around and targeting the tight end and Hollywood Brown, he's going to go back to oblivion again. All right? Tight end's time. Very simple here. Look, whatever tight end you done got here already with this tight end, play that tight end. Ain't no more bye weeks. Play that tight end. But if you only have one, which a lot of times I run with one, you can pick this guy up if you don't need no other positional players. And I'm only saying this, he had a bad game a couple weeks ago, dropped everything, had minus points, but this dude is getting so much volume. Gerald Everett for the Seahawks. Granted, tight ends out there are just like, if you don't have a monster game, one of the 3 of them that have a monster game is not, you're just all clumped in there together, But at the end of the day, this dude has been getting targets, He's been a safe play, a solid streamer, only one clunker of a game. Freaking that quarterback, simp boy, Russell Wilson, letting Sierra pop a freaking coochie and do all type of stuff with a bottle on her head. You know what I'm saying? And twerk it. Anyway, that's another story. Doggone, he loves him some Gerald Everett. Said it himself. Oh, this guy catches everything. Yada, yada, yada. So, hey, look. Proof's in the pudding. Dude been balling. He's the only person I recommend picking up off the waiver this week. Defensicals. First one they got, Dolphins. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Man, look, if you Dolphins are out there, you need to be trying to get them first round of waivers. Okay? Dolphins at home against the Jets, that is juice. You're looking at like 20 points probably almost for their team. They're going to eat on the Jets. Strong, especially the way they've been playing. They're at home. Dolphins at home against the Jets. Their DST should be awesome. Cards against the Lions. They may be out there as well. We saw how Cards, they didn't have a great offensive game. Defense wasn't that bad. Plus, when you're playing against the Lions, they're at home. They should get right. Easy W. And Packers versus the Ravens. Yes, they're at Baltimore, but it doesn't really matter because Lamar, if he keeps staring down receivers and throwing, him and old boy for Chicago, that's just keep staring down receivers like they're crazy. Man, this ain't a freaking college no more. You can't do that. That's why these people keep bashing these black quarterbacks because they don't read their progressions right. Just want to rely on their legs and just throw the freaking rock. Can't stop looking at one person. Look, visualize it. Come back to somebody. This ain't college no more. You ain't playing against people that's out there freaking selling insurance. No, these people out here playing football. NFL football the same as you. That's the thing. All these college players get so much hype. But hell, they ain't playing against other NFL-ready players or players that's going to go to the next level. People out there freaking working at freaking JCPenney. All right, Packers versus Ravens. So Dolphins, Cards, and Packers. That is this week 15 waivers. Let's get some W's, pound it out in the first round of waivers. And the first round of playoffs, get to week 16 and win one to get to week 17. This is Anthony Blake, flawless fantasy football. Too hype out here already. I want you guys to get W's. We're going to talk about give some more content ready for next year. We're going to try to keep it balanced and stuff like that. Listen, if your first time, welcome to the new members down in the comments. Anthony Blake Jr., like, comment, subscribe. Welcome to the family, y'all. What's up? Let's get it going.